Okay, it's Tuesday night. We're gonna prep some Pathfinder. We're gonna prep some 7 Dooms for Sandpoint. Yeah. So let's hop into that. I'm gonna turn this music down a little bit. Okay. Jeez, so loud. All right. Calendar packs now available. Okay. How do we get? Search for in the add-on modules tab. Add-on modules. Okay. Alright, let's see. Manage modules? There's no add-on modules tab, is there? I don't think so. Alright. Season and stars. Do I have to go somewhere else for that? Nah, that's gonna really suck. Alright, hold on. Let's see. Season and star. Is it ampersand and stars? Seasons and stars PF2E. Wah. Wah. Currently running a game, you Alright, that's fine. Alright, it says it's installed now. Season and stars. I don't feel like I need anything else. Season of Ghosts, specifically. Season of Stars Fantasy. Okay. Alright, we'll boot it back up. Hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. Getting a little tired not having my calendar, so... What I'm really missing is voices. Voices was so good. Voice actor, that was a great one. But voice actor by Blitz, it is no longer supported. It was still working in 12. It was still working in 12, but we're well past that. We're a lot of additions out from that working. Ugh. Alright, so we've got burn offerings into 7 dooms. We're pretty confident with the prep we have for burn offerings. What we were doing is we were going through last week, yeah? And we were working on them notes. Yes. I think. Yeah. I got them right here. Oops. Shit. There we go. Key names. All that good stuff. Timeline. Decisions about how to mix and match the stuff together. Good stuff. Okay. So this is a chunk boy. It's a 204-page adventure. I'd like to say we got time on our side. Maybe we do. We'll have to see. Curious about something. No? Yeah. Okay. Weird. Okay. Alright, let's go with... what do we got? The different chapters. 9 chapters. I think we covered that up top. Maybe? Nope, we didn't cover the 9 chapters. Alright, we covered discussions about what we could adapt. So let's take a look at these. Let's see, go here, do Dunes Robot, and we'll go to here. Okay. Can you reformat this for me? No need to change anything in the text. All right. So bring that over to our notes. Cool. What we got here? Chapter summary. All right, and then we got the advancement track. So this is kind of important. Same with this, please. Add emojis for spice, for color. I don't want to say spice since she just puts like eggplant emojis on everything. All right. If that's the case, 7 Dooms read through. There we go. All right. Gonna add this. We'll do milestone. Milestones. There we go. Stone. Go. Advancement tracker. Cool. Womp. There we go. So, okay. Starting at level 4 means they will earn offerings. So I guess the level 3 milestone is the Wrath or whatever. Let's see. Burnt offerings. Thistletop. Yeah, they just got this Catacombs of Wrath secret extra dungeon. There we go. Alright, so we'll do okay. Go here. Go there. Didn't really want that to be a table, but that's okay. I feel like this would be town quests and town quest, side quests, boar hunt. There we go. All right. Then they go on to do Catacombs of Wrath. We'll do Glassworks and Catacombs of Wrath. And then this will top blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that works. Alright. We gotta check back in on Foundry. Okay. Thanks for letting me know about those packs. I went and I downloaded a pack. Benefits of calendar packs. Smaller core module download and faster load times. Install only the calendars you need for your campaigns. So, does that mean... Well, we'll see if there's a dependency or not. Alright. So turn that off, turn that on. There is a dependency. Okay. Save, turn on. Oof. 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 So sore. Okay. Alright, well while that's loading, I guess we'll get back into the note-taking. Let's see. Love that. That artwork of Namalia. That's pretty sick. Let's see. Damn. That looks cool as hell. Alright, we'll do like that. Nice. Alright, so we'll do Chapter 01, Bones and Ashes. Alright. I want the whole thing. Alright. So then, what's happening in this one? What is happening? During the Age of Anguish, as Galarian recovered from the devastation of Earthfall, a powerful demon named Vaglor rose to power. Conceived eons before his demonic parents, Lamashtu, and before... Wait, what? Conceived eons before his demonic parents, Lamashtu and Pazuzu. Vaglor lay dormant, slowly gestating at the base of a deep hole in the ground, when Thassalon Rosenpower, a wizrobe named Lyra LaRue, came to the site and, intrigued by the latent power in the area, built a series of underground chambers surrounding the shaft. Okay. Yet Lyra, Jesus Christ, Lyra Lu, oh my God, Lyra LaRue. Man, fuck these names. Liralaru? Liralaru. God. It's fucking terrible. Okay. Never fully discovered the true nature of the strange abyssal power at the bottom of this pit. As her studies, we're just gonna name her Lisa. I'm gonna be like Ellis fucking Island here. I'm just gonna fucking rename these hard to pronounce names. I'm just the fucking worst. Alright, so Lisa never fully discovered the true nature of the strange abyssal power at the bottom of this pit, as her studies came to an abrupt end with Earthfall. For decades, the world lay in ruins, and the violence of Earthfall did what a Thessalonian wizard could not. It quickened the nascent demon's gestation. Oh. Within the stone below, and slowly roused him from his slumber. The three-eyed fiend emerged from his birthplace into a ruined world, and the site of his emergence would become known in time as the Pit. For years, Ugi brutalized the Varisians who dwelled along the Lost Coast, until a priest named Sam banished him into a prison in the Maelstrom. His one-time lair remained a blight on the Lost Coast, so Sam worked great magic to weave a ward into the pit to contain its abyssal infection, taking extra care to ensure that none who served the Abyss could ever undo her work. Knowledge of the pit's genesis faded from memory until the Mothman priest of Pazuzu, known as the Red Bishop, discovered this legacy. Inspired by the World Wound, the Red Bishop had visions of creating a similar devastation. Who doesn't, right? In Varisia. But after his initial investigations resulted in a painful lesson about the power that remained in Sam's magic, he did what Mothmen do best. I don't know what Mothmen do best. I didn't know there was a fucking thing I heard about it last week. But sure. Plan, prepare, and enable a burgeoning disaster. The Red Bishop was pleased at Sandpoint's location within this new territory, patiently enacting his plans to lure Uggy back to the Lost Coast. The Red Bishop knew that Uggy's return would surely shatter the pit, and transform it into a rent between Galarian and the Abyss. But not as long as Sam's ward remained. The answer lay in one of mortal kind's most iconic pursuits, adventuring. By manipulating regional events and manipulating visionaries and outcasts such as the eccentric artist Jervis Stute, the Red Bishop cultivated a culture. That's true. And need for adventurers by letting the locals' need for adventure foster. I'm gonna make the fucking font bigger. All right. Where are we? By letting the locals' need for adventure foster itself, he ensured that the resulting adventurers would not be agents of the Abyss, and thus could potentially undo the magic of Sam's ward. Once a group was sufficiently powerful and could be tricked into the pit to adventurers love that. Players love being tricked into doing the bad guy stuff. Everybody loves it. It's a great plot. It's a great plot line. Who doesn't like feeling like a fucking moron? Man, sign us up. Once the pit was sufficiently powerful, blah blah blah. The Red Bishop could trigger the final stage of his plan, the incineration of Sandpoint through a devastating fire lit by an ancient remnant of old Thassalon, the Hellstorm Flume. That's something you wrote. The Hellstorm Flume. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. I've been doing this for 30 years. Sometimes the nerd shit is so nerd that it just hurts. The Red Bishop's visions left him convinced that such a sacrifice in Uggy's name would draw the demon's attention back to the Lost Coast, and that his return would tear the pit open. Not sure why returning to the vagina he came out of would turn it into a portal to the Abyss. I'm not a wizard, though, or a Mothman, so I don't understand how a lot of this works. The Red Bishop nearly achieved success years ago when one promising group came to Sandpoint's aid, but the rising of Rune Lord Karzug diverted their attention away from the region before the Red Bishop could coax them towards the pit. He's learned from that mistake and now seeks to even more subtly manipulate events to drive a fresh group of adventurers into the pit to accidentally undo Sam's work. And so the Red Bishop's plan come to a head. 7 separate dooms, each with ties to the pit and links to long-laid plots set in motion by the Red Bishop himself, will soon strike the Lost Coast and the town of Sandpoint, unless the PCs can stop him. But stopping him is what he wants you to do. Getting started. This adventure begins at level 4. Go get the free player's guide. Give it to your players. There's some things you can do to run the game previously. Where and when? 7 Dooms for Sandpoint takes place in the town of Sandpoint, blah blah blah, 17 years later. We're all on board for that shit. The reputation results in the PCs being contacted by local priest Abstelar Xantus. He invites them to meet with him at Sandpoint Cathedral, where he has a delicate matter to discuss. Okay. So, 17 years pass. ... Alright. And then Abstalon. Nope. Abstelar. My bad. There's a city named Absalon, but that's different. Okay. Abstelar invites the PCs to meet with him at the Sandpoint Cathedral, where he's prepared a table with a modest but delicious lunch. When the PCs arrive, they're met by an acolyte who leads them through the cathedral to the interior veranda, where lunch and Abstelar waits. The veranda looks out over the cathedral's grassy courtyard, wherein a set of 7 9-foot-tall menhirs loom around a circular altar stone. Abstelar greets the PCs with a smile and open arms, then invites them to be seated at the table and enjoy the fine weather and food with him. He waves aside questions about why he's called the PCs here for the moment, saying, "Let's eat and enjoy the day." Use this lunch as a chance for each PC to introduce themselves. Abstelar certainly knows a bit about any previous adventures the PCs were on, their success at those endeavors being a big reason why he's called on them today. Once the PCs are done with lunch, Absalar gives a heavy sigh and gathers his thoughts for a moment before asking what the PCs know about Sandpoint's shameful history. While the scandal involving Sandpoint's founding several decades ago certainly didn't start things off on the best foot, what Absalar... Oh, is this a dungeon already? Fuck yeah. Didn't start things off on the best foot. What Absalar is more concerned with is how the town and his predecessor, Azakian Tobin, treated the foundling Nualia. Okay. Let's see. Concern. Okay. Absalar can fill the PCs in on the whole story as presented on page 167 under A Doomed Town. After he's satisfied the PCs are up to speed on the events that led to Nualia's death, he proceeds to as follows. Okay, and what brings us today? Over the past 17 years, I've done some thinking on poor Nualia. She didn't deserve the fate she got. Okay, Absalar pauses here to gauge the PC's reactions to his concerns and observations. He hasn't broached the topic with anyone else. Oh, dude, he got old. Alright, let's see. Chapter 1. Bones and Ashes. I like the idea of Nualia's soul being in a pendant that one of the PCs who was close to her has kept since the end of Burnt Offerings. How would that vibe here? Wham. Let's see. Grab all this. Wham. Absalar's request. Wham. Let's see. Grab all this. Oh, I definitely posted that shit in the wrong spot. Alright, hold on. Wait. And here. Fuck. Alright, put that in there. And then this. And okay. Then we go back up here and then we say, keep in mind our plans to reskin Fox Glove as the BBEG carryover from Burnt Offerings, and that we want to take the focus off the remaining 5 books of Rune Lords. Alright. Absolutely, this is the perfect moment to let the Desolation Locket reveal its deeper purpose and carry Nualia's soul into Chapter 1, Bones and Ashes. Below is a full breakdown of how your planned elements mesh beautifully with this chapter's plot, NPCs, and tone. Okay. With no need for Rune Lord's baggage or deep Karzug skin saw plotlines. Nualia's soul is in the locket. Chapter 1 integration. Brings emotional weight and legacy full circle from Burnt Offerings. Reframe Nualia as a tragic tethered soul, not just a villain. Set up the Desolation Locket as a haunting boon that might evolve. Begin teasing Aldern Foxglove as the true villain behind the Dooms. New dialogue insert. Nice. Foreshadowing the Red Bishop, Foxglove. Okay. So, we're going to put changes. There we go. Even if the locket replaces the need to find her bones, you should keep the grave robbery scene because it provides mystery, threat, atmosphere. Find out who disturbed her rest and what they were after. Nice. Okay. The Hellstorm Catacombs. Alright, so... also, can you just, like, tell me the 5 main things that happen in this introduction quest-giving scene? Crypt summary. 5 main things that happen. Alright. Cool. That is a shit prize. 75 gold piece? That feels like not a lot of money. It's okay. So, paste that in. 5 main things that happen. Xantis reflects on Walia's tragedy. He reveals the need for a link to her soul. Okay, tells the PCs her grave is desecrated. He asks the PCs to investigate the tunnels below. He offers support, healing, and gear. Alright. He won't come with them, but he'll watch over the entrance and be ready to help. Alright, alright. So... oh... Absalar's suspicion is correct. Ghouls have indeed made off with Nualia's remains, but their motive is not merely food. These ghouls were once Gerblins, and not only do they hope to use Nualia's skeleton to prove their worth to Lord Ripnugget, but they've also broken into a set of ancient catacombs below the cathedral itself. Chambers that date all the way back to the time of ancient Thalassian. That's fucking crazy. Alright. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so now I need you to reframe with our narrative changes and summarize this next part, comma, the Hellstorm Catacombs. Am I reading this right, comma, dude invites you over for lunch and there is a crime scene attached to a dungeon in his church basement, question mark? Alright. Let's see. Grab all this. And okay. You were reading it exactly right. Yes, this sequence is wild if you take it at face value. No shit, right? Okay. Here's a reframed summary of key events, characters, and twists. Okay. This dungeon crawl can be refocused as an eerie, personal, emotionally charged descent into the literal sins of Sandpoint's past. Here's a reframed summary of the key events, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So... alright. Okay. I'm a little insulted about the too long didn't read, but that's the truth of the matter, I guess. Alright. Let's take a look. Narrative context. Let's see. After the PCs speak with Father Xantis, they descend into the tunnels under Nualia's desecrated grave, searching not for the treasure, but for her stolen bones and the cause of the recent spiritual unrest. What they find to be the cathedral is a tangled mess of undead goblins, buried sins, and the first shadow of the Red Bishop's return. What the fuck is going on? Yes, the church has a dungeon. There really are ancient Thalassian catacombs under the cathedral, abandoned and sealed off for centuries. That just no one's ever noticed. A group of ghouls, recently allied with undead goblin cultists, accidentally breached the catacombs while digging up from the paupers' graves. The PCs are, in effect, the first living people to enter this place in centuries. In your framing, the catacombs were sealed off because past corruption by the Runewell, now stirring once more. The ghouls dug up Nalia's bones, led by Glorkus. Good name. Undead goblins that were part of the old Thistletop tribe. New, desperate, after a failed mission into the Hellstrom catacombs, they dug up Nalia's body not to eat yet, but to use as a sacrifice or gift to regain favor with their true master. Rip Nugget is back, bitches. He was resurrected when a goblin looter claimed his cursed armor. Is that what happened? Wouldn't my PCs have his cursed armor? I don't know. In your version, Rip Nugget serves the Red Bishop, who has appeared to him in the form of a mind-speaking red seagull and promised him power buried beneath Sandpoint and in the pit. The goblins are fractured, Rip Nugget is gone, Glorkus is panicking, and the rest of the ghouls are hungry, stressed, losing faith in the mission. The PCs arrive as the pressure hits its peak, and are immediately seen as potential prey or replacement recruits for the cause. The dungeon itself is ancient and dangerous. These are not just monster tunnels, this is a defiled Thalassian ruin. There are demons, traps, and signs of older magic far more dangerous than gerblins or ghouls. The Hellstrom flume, mentioned later, hints that a buried weapon tied to one of the 7 dooms. Okay, that's pretty cool. Characters of interest. Your custom narrative hooks. The Desolation Locket begins to react within the dungeon, possibly glowing or whispering a response to lingering wrath or sin. The ghoul desecration is not just grotesque, it's a test run for larger soul corruption experiments that Red Bishop has planned. The PCs may recover Nwalia's bones or discover they have been partially used in a failed resurrection rite. Either way, her soul remains bound to the locket, and the ritual of forgiveness is still possible. A recovered letter, scrap, or vision may hint that Foxglove's hand was behind Rip Nugget's resurrection, a foreshadowing of the final arc. Don't make it silly. Goblin ghouls could get campy fast. Lean into the grotesque, the tragically undead, and the cult horror aspects. Use the lunch invitation tone to surprise. Xantus isn't lying. He thought this would be a respectful ritual prep, not a combat-heavy dungeon crawl. The tonal whiplash actually enhances the stakes. Okay. Hold on. So when dude Xantus invites for lunch, he doesn't know the bones are gone yet. He just wants PC's opinion on forgiveness ritual? Question mark? Okay. Okay. You recently exhumed her grave to retrieve the remains, but when they opened the coffin, it was empty. It had been tunneled out from below, caved in. He's ashamed, alarmed and ashamed. I need your help. Explore the tunnels. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Alright. Let's see. Alright. Let's look at the Foundry. Okay. Now don't remind me again. Alright, let's go in here to settings. And we'll go down to this Sea and Stars bullshit. Sea and Stars. Alright, now we can go and switch it to Gowarian. Absalon Reckoning. Oh. Earth Historical, Parisian Traditional. Oh, that's cool. Alright. Automatically show the default counter widget when the world loads. You can still manually open close it. Okay. Main calendar widget, mini calendar widget, calendar grid widget. Huh. Okay. Calendar click behavior. View dates. QuickTime buttons. All that seems fine. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna save. I'm gonna click. I thought that would open it up quickly. It does not. Alright, what's that do? That is just quick clock, I think. Oh shit. Don't want that. Okay. Alright. Let's see what I can do about that. Alright. We're gonna go into configure settings. PF2E HUD. I'm sure they've added even more useless shit. Let's see. Use modifiers. Combat tracker. Texture scaling. Dice panel. So. Interesting. That's like a core feature that's happening right down there. Okay. Persistent hub, time trackers off. Okay. So how do I turn this off? All right, that brings that back down there. That's fine. Okay. Taskbar. Enable for players, move players, and macros. Whose players and macros up to not get covered by the taskbar? Dock macro bar. Yeah. Auto dock small time clock. I don't think I have small. Do I have small time? I have small time. Calendar provider. I wonder if I can't have small time and this other one at the same time. That might be an issue. Alright. I'll turn off small time then. Let's see. It's a pretty big adventure. It's a pretty straightforward adventure, but it's a big adventure. I think it do require a lot of buy-in from the players to be like, sure, we'll go here now. We'll do this now. We'll go do this thing. That's fine. All right. So this guy, and then I guess there'll be an old man version of him. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Go over here and we activate world clock. That's not the same as calendar though. So calendar lives over there. All right. I want grid-based calendar. Okay. So I think I do want in my settings under seasons and stars or whatever. Automatically show the default calendar widget. Yes. Display time in mini widget. Show the current time alongside the date in the mini widget calendar. Sure. Display day of the week in the mini widget. Sure. We want calendar grid. The rest of that should be okay. Alright. So do this. There. Okay. It is not showing the little clock like it said it was going to. That's less cool. Kind of thought I'd get a little clock out of it, but Alright. 707, blah blah blah. Yeah, I thought everything would be like combined into one. No. Don't want to close all windows. Where did all of my little... Oh, I can't read them because there's a bright light underneath. Alright. Okay. So... Okay. Always display QuickTime. Display QuickTime buttons in widgets, even with small time, is available. Useful if you prefer SNS time controls over small time. I don't know if that's true. Let's see. Time advancement ratio. Pause on combat. Resume time after combat. I mean, that makes sense. Allow player notes. Show notifications. Okay, all that seems good. Guess we'll turn small time back on. Thanks. Like, this gets docked down there, but only after I interact with it the first time. Which is a little bit of a pain in the ass. Okay. And over here with small time, I thought that we gave this guy permission to hijack the time, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Got the world clock here. Toggle controls, settings. Galarian, Absalom, synchronized darkness. I do like that quite a bit. If a scene's darkness will reflect the time of day, it's actually pretty dope. Show clock button. Set where the clock button at all times. Yeah, we definitely want the clock button set at all times. Alright, whatever. I think it'll be fine. So, 7 dooms for Sandpoint. Ash and Bones. Yikes. These are the maps. Let's see what we got. Oh, these are beautiful. Like always. Like always. What we got? Where the fuck do we come in? B1, I'm assuming. No? A1. Okay. Goblin ghouls. They're not very strong. Then we got a secret door. Oh, they have sound effects. That's not great. Okay, Glorkus and Zaduk. That's fun. Let's see. Who are you? You look like a cutie. Wow, look at that goat dude. That dude's fucking sick. Jesus Christ. Azareza? Azareza, okay. Notes. These goat-headed demons have glowing red eyes and flaming hoofs, but measure at only 3 feet in height, born from the souls of arsonists. The fiery Brimarax continue the work they pursued in life. Okay. As everything they touch quickly burns. As a general rule, Brimarax are ill-tempered, even for demons. Although their spite turns to glee in the face of a growing fire. Those who have survived encounters with these fiends report that they remember the braying sound of the Brimarax laughter as clearly as the heat of the flames or the choking scent of smoke. Man, that's pretty cool. Okay. What else you got going on? We got traps. And we've got side passage you could take. Love multiple routes into the dungeon. That's always nice. Technically, I guess you can't get in here because this dude gonna shoot shit at you. Oh, I see. You're not gonna be able to get in there. Fire blast room. You're just gonna blast it. Oh, okay. Got it. What an asshole. Alright, then what do we got over here? Combusted. Fire undead. I'm into it. Alright, what do we got over here? A skeleton covered in vines. And then, where does this go? Fire-scarred hallway. The walls, floor, and ceiling of this long, pitch-dark hall. The tunnel leads further to the west into darkness. Where, though? The tunnel leads on underground to the west for just 200 feet before coming to a collapse. This tunnel once led all the way to the Hellstorm flume, but it collapsed during Earthfall, as things tended to do. Okay. Seems pretty straightforward. There's a shrine. Once the PCs discover Nualia's bones, they can deliver them back to Absolar Xantus in the cathedral above. But it's still a few days before his friend Audrani arrives to cast the Call Spirit ritual. In the meantime, he encourages the PCs to keep exploring, particularly if he learns about the catacombs, and asks the PCs if they can map the complex out for him. What? Okay. What's your take here with the locket and changes? Glorcus is fucking adorable. And the PCs had a personal connection. This section only reframed. Xantus takes the locket reverently. Whispering a prayer. Okay. Here we go. Desolation Locket is now active and may pulse or glow in proximity to her bones. The PCs recovered Nualia's bones not for mechanics but for emotional closure. Okay. Alright. That's fine. Talking to Zaduk. With little interest. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Zaduk. Does Zaduk spoil the Rip Nugget reveal? Or is he the reveal? Question mark. Excellent question. This is a great moment to consider how to time Rip Nugget's reveal. Does Zaduk spoil the Rip Nugget reveal? Not really. Rip Nugget has left the region, headed to the pit. Alright. In your version, tie Zaduk to the Red Bishop plot. Since Rip Nugget is now a servant of the Red Bishop, in your canon, you can deepen the mystery by having Zaduk say things like, he started talking to birds, not normal birds. One red one. Ooh, yeah, I like that. That's pretty good. Alright, hold on. Let's see. Changes. No, not here. Alright, do this. And changes. Again. Alright. Okay. Grab this. Go there. Alright. Let's see. Hellstrom Catacombs feature. The flagstone walls. Blah, blah, blah. Catacombs. Go in there. Get it. Statue. Guard post. Divine Warden of Haggenti. Oh, that dude looks cool. Alright. So then we get to this part. Speaking with the dead. Okay. Going back to the big speak with dead Walia part of this chapter. Maybe the soul in the locket has been silent this whole time? Question mark? The PC kept the locket because it had sentimental value and was kind of strong. They didn't know her soul was still was hidden away inside. Okay, raw, wham, and then let's see. Dissenting opinions. Aw, man. Bolster the ritual. Let's see. Charn Scarnetti. No. Not a Praxis guy. They must really hate Italians over at Pisa. Let's see. New Orleans Spirit is some kind of... Oh, did they make it a haunt? What do they do? Oh, they made it a social challenge. Okay. Alright, then we get into chapter 2. Alright, cool. Chapter 2 of 7. That's not bad. This ain't no Curse of Strahd 14 chapters or whatever. And like, let's be real. That chapter was like one dungeon. Alright. Absolutely, your vision of Desolation Locket Kingdom so unwittingly for 17 years is an incredibly elegant and mythic twist that layers perfectly into this ritual scene. Sure. She was never in the grave, she was with you the whole time. Raw, the ritual calls Walia's soul from the boneyard, using her bones as a link. The Desolation Locket has held her spirit since her death, but its power and purpose remain dormant until this ritual reawakens her. Love it. Sample dialogue beats, final thoughts. Alright. Boom. Cool. So, that brings us to the end of chapter. Okay, so, okay. Summarize everything we have changed and discussed for chapter 1. Give them to me in concise, emoji-filled, bulleted lists, so I don't miss any important beats. Also, give me a goal list that we want to hit before the end of the chapter to set up for a strong campaign and for chapter 2. Okay. Custom summary. Legacy framing. Nualia's Soul, Desolation Locket. Xanthus' Grave Robbing Request. Hellstrom Catacombs, Dungeon Reframing. Spirit Ritual Rework. Town Reaction Expanded. Chapter 1 Goal List. Boom. Okay. Alright. Okay. Post Ritual. What are some possible outcomes and paths forward involving the soul of Nualia? Four possible outcomes. Nice. Alright. Best fit. Since you're playing up Redemption, Legacy, Personal Impact. Alright. All that seems pretty solid. Throw that in there. Boom. Okay. Then we're ready for Chapter 2. Strange Times in the Sandpoint. We'll go here. Alright. We'll do Chapter 02. Oh, there we go. Do that. Alright, we'll do a clock, I guess. Alright, Strange Times in Sandpoint. Sweet. So we are ready for Chapter 2 now. Alright. Okay. Alright, let's do... here's what we need. Okay. We are making good progress. Can you give me a and let's see, Chapter 2 spans pages, what, 26 through... Ooh, this seems like it's a little bit longer than the previous one. That's cool. It's a lot of NPCs, holy shit. Alright, through 43. 23 through 43? Yeah, damn. Okay. No, 26 through 43. After your summary, please provide any suggestions you have to change or modify content to better match our conversion decisions. All right. I don't know how these two are still low enough in levels to be going on this adventure, because they were in the original Rune Lord's adventure. Are these their kids? Unlikely. Let's see. Alright. Chapter 2 Summary. Nualia's spirit ritual leaves an emotional aftershock. Townsfolk are talking. Xanthus' reputation suffers if the ritual failed or stirred panic. Garnet-led agitators begin to politicize the event, using it to push against the cathedral. Gossip spreads quickly, and public trust is shaken. Not everyone believes forgiving Nualia was wise. I don't know why. I feel like she really didn't do that much bad stuff in Burnt Offerings. Like, she didn't really get a chance. Like, she had some goblins attack the town. That was pretty much it. Like, on the big scheme of things. Like, she had some bad intentions for sure. She was fucked up turning into a demon, but I don't know about all that. Alright. Nualia's spirit leaves an emotional aftershock. Faction reputation. PCs earn or lose reputation points with local factions. What is the fucking point of that? Okay. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Alright. So we're gonna go here. And paste that in. Okay. And that's where we'll stop for now. I gotta go get the stream, not the stream ready, but I'm gonna record the game locally. I think we made a lot of progress tonight. This seems, for the most part, like a pretty straightforward adventure. I'm excited to continue prepping and running it. I hope everybody has a good night. I'll be back on Thursday to prep some Skyhaven, run some Skyhaven, and we're probably going to do a vodcast on Friday, and we'll see what happens over the weekend. So, see you next time.